Now for our main headline topic this week, GTA 6. No, we don't have much to share, except there's this strange little. It didn't even start out as strange, but what Rockstar did with it ended up being a little strange in that they put up a job posting, and in the job posting, the developer says it's seeking a lead software engineer to ensure everything goes smoothly when GTA 6 finally arrives next year. That Rockstar's lucky candidate will work with, quote, some of the most talented people in the industry to help develop the data platform behind the upcoming big ol' game. Quote, with the continued growth of Grand Theft Auto Online and the upcoming release of Grand Theft Auto 6, the successful candidate will lead both the evolution and operation of the data platform, supporting what will be the largest game launch in history, ensuring it scales to deliver an exceptional experience for millions of players worldwide. So the strange part is that Rockstar deleted the largest game launch in history part from that job posting, which Miranda, why would that, if anyone in the entire gaming universe could make that claim and not get laughed out of the room, it's Rockstar. Why would they remove that from that job post?
So as someone who's listed job postings before and has received feedback on like how to craft a job posting, I think this more comes from the HR side of, we don't want to like scare away candidates who could potentially be interested in this, but may say, the largest in history. Do I have like historical claim to my work load, like, or my resume, which obviously you'd want someone very experienced to be in this role anyway. But I think in the name of not limiting people applying, they wanted to probably scale that back to not be so potentially intimidating or like forceful. That's my thought. Not that they can't claim it. Obviously, it's going to be massive. Obviously, no one's questioning that. I think anyone who understands games at all understands that this is going to be a massive and very likely historical event. But I think that's more of why they would change it, which is like the boring answer, basically, but the realistic one.
I don't think that's boring at all. I actually hadn't considered that side of it at all. Like in my head, it was, were they afraid of this being used as bad press against them in any way, shape, or form? Like maybe if the launch is rough or like in terms of the performance or online stuff. So, but you made it. That's a great point. I hadn't even thought about it from the sort of scaring off good people side of it, which I think that's a phenomenal point you've just made.
Thank you,
Michael. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe after posting it, legal team looked at it and be like, maybe you can't like technically say that, or maybe there's just like something within to protect themselves from any like any legal trouble. Maybe like you can't. It's kind of like the thing of like, you can't say like certain ingredients are like pure or like organic, whatever. There's like certain regulations that go behind what you can say on labels of things. So maybe there's a little bit of that there where it's like, if you're posting for a job, like you can't make claims about your like unquantifiable claims about a product that you're hiring for or whatever the case might be. So maybe legal team looked at it and be like, you should probably delete that just to protect yourself in the future or whatever may come up. So that is also maybe another boring answer. But if any, like you said, is I don't know, Rockstar can say that. And the thing is though, like they don't have to say it in a job posting. I think anyone who's applying to this knows what the hell Rockstar is up to. Otherwise, why would you be applying? You could save that kind of line for your marketing materials. You don't have to say it in a job posting. We get it. But yeah, that's kind of where my head's at with that, because like, yeah, we all know that it's going to be the biggest launch in video game history. And the whole world is going to know about it. They're going to be they're going to be making headlines across mainstream media. You know, the last area in which they need to flex on people is in a job posting. So there's also that.
Well, I also think your answer was very not boring. I think both of you gave way better reasons. Like I said, my heads went straight to there could be some, community backlash against this, but No, I think both of you give excellent reasons, but yeah, Michael, you bring up another good point about this going mainstream when you know how the effect of this, the ripple effect of GTA 6's launch when it happens. I mean, it's the thing is, and I know we kind of are all in these little online bubbles or what have you, but if you kind of like if I just think about actual real life and the people in my life and friends, family, etc. Obviously not coworkers because my coworkers are all in this bubble with me, but like gamers know what is going to descend upon pop culture on May 26th, 2026. Game industry people all know, but I kind of feel like, and I don't know if this will change between now and then, but I feel like most people outside of the games industry, and I'm talking about everybody from your aunt, your uncle, your non-gamer cousin to executives at other big companies that aren't in the gaming space, just have no clue at all what is going to descend upon pop culture in May of 2026. Like even like Disney should know, but they're still putting The Mandalorian and Grogu out. Like, I think it's the week before this game is scheduled to drop, which seems like a bad idea. That just seems like it. That's one, like, you can be, if you're Disney, you can be confident 9 times out of 10. This is the 10th time where maybe you shouldn't, maybe you should move. But, Michael, do you get that sense in your life that, and your sort of observation of the outside world, that nobody really has any clue how big this is going to be?
I think the larger contingent understands how big this is and are aware of it, but I think that who it's actually going to affect is a fairly, I mean, it would extend to, the people who buy like Call of Duty or Madden every year. Like that is probably like the outer bounds of it. Like it's anyone who touches games is going to be enveloped by GTA 6. How much it reaches beyond that, who's to say? Maybe it ropes in new gamers, people who haven't played this kind of game before. Maybe it does that, but I think it's going to be a topic of conversation regardless of who is going, how far it reaches. I think it's going to reach enough people. Like it's going to be tens of millions of people on launch window for sure. What I'm anticipating is the conversations that are going to come out of it. One, I want to see what the content of the game actually is, not just for the social commentary that I know that Rockstar likes to poke at, and some of the boundaries in which it can push on a technical level. And there's a lot of the interesting gameplay stuff that they tend to do with a major release. But I'm also anticipating is not the right word. I am bracing myself for the mainstream media conversation about, guess what? Video game violence for the 100th time. Like this is going to be such an easy target for conversation in that realm. And like, we're already like today in these times, that conversation is being drummed up for the 99th time. Yep. And it's going to be the 100th time when GTA 6 comes out. So I think it's going to open up that door again, along with it being the top of the headlines for like major sales of any media franchise in the world. And then we're going to have a lot of uninformed people in front of cameras talking about how video game violence is an epidemic. And there's conversations to be had about the role of video game violence or whatever. But, it's the people who are informed about that thing are not the ones having those conversations on major channels. Mm-hmm. And in a way, it's kind of like Rockstar are the ones who kind of revel in that in a way where they're like, yeah, they're talking about our game, maybe in a bad light, but you know what? People are paying attention to it. Like that's the extent of GTA 6 reaching its outer bounds. So unfortunately, that is going to be part and parcel to the release of a game like this at this scale. So be prepared for that if you're paying attention to that. And otherwise, covering the game itself on our end is going to be, Miranda, I'm
so excited. You guys, I've been preparing for 10 years for this. Okay, I'm not even kidding. That's every project we do. It's like So what lesson did we learn for GTA 6? You know,
all the back end CMS stuff, all the things that you've been doing with Silk Song, with all these other open world games, it's all been training for this moment.
I'd like to think that we have like a secret sauce ready to go, but
those checklists are going to go crazy.
People are worried, and I'm like, I'm just over here like rubbing my hands together. I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
You were born for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it may only come around once in our careers at the rate that GTA games are releasing.
Yeah.
So this might be. I mean, but Michael, I would really, before I go to Miranda, I wanted to come back to, you were saying at the beginning there that, you know, you think there's kind of an outer edge to who this will directly affect. So do you think like The Mandalorian and Grogu will be fine at the box office, that it will be unaffected by this?
I mean, if it comes out like at least a week before, maybe the tail end will drop off because everyone's like, all right, we're busy at home playing this game. But I don't like, this is just off the top of the brain, but maybe there isn't as much Venn diagram crossover as you might think when it comes to an audience that would go to the theater for a Disney/Star Wars film. I mean, there's crossover for sure. Like, I think video games are at that critical mass and have been for a very long time. Don't get me wrong. But going out for a 2-hour movie probably isn't going to encroach on your GTA time unless you're a real sicko. And unless you're making guides for this thing. So I think and we've already seen it, like video games themselves are the ones that are getting out of the way. And like maybe some other media properties or like other realms of media might want to do that as well. But I think when it comes to time investment and money, like how much money people are spending, the value proposition is very different with the game. So I'm not going to be releasing a $70 game around this window at all because, again, like you're probably going to be paying $100 for this thing. So whereas like a movie ticket prices have gone up pretty significantly, but if I'm paying $15 to go see a movie for about 3 hours, I'm gonna do that. I might do that depending on who's down. But I don't think that would encroach too much on the prospect of a major video game release. But hey, who knows? I think if anything, though, this is a good case study to look at crossover between different types of media and how they affect different audiences. So beyond it being probably a technically impressive game that is going to push boundaries, I think it's also going to tell us a lot about consumer behavior when it comes to video games across the board, whether it be across other games, playtime with multiplayer games. You're probably going to see a major dip there, and that'll tell you a lot about how the audience reacts and player behavior, as well as everyone else who's looking at TVs, shows, going outside to play, viewer numbers for like sports games or whatever. But I don't think that's major sports season. I know the baseball season will be up again during that time.
May is NBA playoffs.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah. So you're neck deep in the NBA. You're like in the the conference semis, or maybe even the conference finals at that point. But I agree with you that there will be a lot of learning that happens across like a number of, not just the games industry, but others. But I would disagree with you on, I would not launch, I wouldn't drop a new big show that you've spent a bunch of money on if you're one of the big streaming services on that day or anywhere near it. I wouldn't drop a new movie in theaters, but I want to get to Miranda here. Miranda, go ahead.
No, yeah, I totally agree. I think the thing aside from like, well, who's gonna be playing or watching, or watching like streams of GT or being involved in that, I think regardless, it's gonna be so much of the conversation immediately leading up and during after, that anything else that comes out around that time is just gonna get lost in the shuffle. Like, it's almost just not even worth it because publicity wise, people are gonna be focused on GTA, if not also playing GTA. And also talking about GTA with their friends. Like, people aren't gonna, I think, give as much time to other related media. And I think that's a thing, right? So like anything within the geek media sphere, and this GTA, I'd argue, goes beyond that as well, is gonna get cannibalized completely by GTA. So I think even though it feels like the Mandalorian Grogu audience would be large and varied enough to not be impacted by it, I just think about everyone in my life who likes Star Wars and who would be also distracted by GTA, and that's a lot of people. Even if you don't care about playing it, they'll probably be asking about it, probably be thinking about it, and it's going to be a big thing. So obviously, but I think it'll be big enough to eclipse other things like that as well. That would arguably be big otherwise.
Yeah, if you don't catch Mandalorian and Grogu that first weekend, I just feel like people are GTA will come out, and you're gonna get a bunch of people going, I'll just wait for it to hit Disney Plus. I want to play GTA right now. And that's I actually can't wait to see this, because you both kind of hit on it already, but we will have never seen anything like a launch like Grand Theft Auto from go ahead, Miranda. Thanks for checking out this clip from Unlocked, IGN's weekly Xbox show. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to watch the full episode at youtube.com/IGN Games. New episodes of Unlocked drop every Thursday on IGN Games, IGN.com, and your favorite podcast platforms. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.